Okay, I tried recording this a few times before, but I got caught up talking to a good friend of mine. So, Cody here today with an Azir game. So Azir got a few changes this patch. And they made him really strong. So before I felt like, at least I didn't play Azir, but I felt like most people, when I saw them play Azir, either they stomped early because they went up against like an idiotic opponent, or they just did literally nothing all game, and they just were kind of a waste of space. But so now they gave Azir this buff. This main buff that they did was they made it so that his W gives him extra attack speed. And that attack speed is doubled if you have 3 or more soldiers out at once. So they really wanted to emphasize him having power around having a lot of soldiers out. But it really makes it so that his, like, the amount of damage that he can do in a fight, it immensely goes up with after getting like the third soldier. Like, he gets the third soldier out and you better be running because he's going to be on your ass attacking you all day. One thing that they did though was they kind of hurt his poke in lane. Kind of. They made it so that his Q range is slightly shorter. I remember reading the patch notes right. I'm pretty sure they made it shorter because it feels shorter in most of the games I played. And the other thing that they did was I think they decreased the cooldown of his ult, which is insane now. And I think they made it so that his E gives him a shield immediately on cast instead of having to hit an enemy champion, which is really good because most times you never even hit an enemy champion. The only times you would hit an enemy champion would be if you're trying to get away from them, and then you don't want to be hitting them. Okay, onto the game. So I started with a Dark Seal against the LeBlanc because Dark Seal gives me relatively good sustain. Now, I did want to get a Doran's ring as well because Azir has heavy mana problems early on, and pretty much for most of the game he has mana problems. LeBlanc comes in and messes with me a bit. I'm gonna pop a biscuit. I'm just gonna heal it all back. Lee shows up. I didn't have enough mana to use my E to get myself a shield. Jarvan, thank God, is nearby. He's able to take the spell chains, which I don't really think would have. I mean, I think I could have lived the spell chains because I could have just flashed away from that. But yeah, Jarvan flashes and takes that from me, and then we get him. We get LeBlanc, and then Lee tries to kill me. I don't even burn a flash, and we kill Lee. So that's a really good start for me. But yeah, Azir just has really bad mana problems early on, and it's one of the reasons why I would want to take a Doran's ring on him. However, the sustain from Dark Seal, especially against LeBlanc, is worth so much more. So building into a Nashor's, once you get Nashor's, you start to be able to do a bit more. At least in 1v1s, you feel like you're actually doing something, and you also get extra cooldown reduction from Nashor's. You get the 20%, so that feels really nice. As that extra 20% makes it very easy for you to get your 3 soldiers out, and then the attack speed already on top of. The attack speed buff from your W on top of the damage from Nashor's is, I mean, you know, it's Azir. It's really great. And at that point in time, you'll also be level 6 and you'll have your ult. Now, when I said that they decreased the cooldown of his ult, damn, did they decrease the cooldown of his ult. It's pretty much up like whenever you would really want it to be up. It's kind of like, oh, I used ult, and oh, wait, it's almost back up. Wow. It's insane. So J4 is coming in here. I kind of want to bait LeBlanc, but she runs over to the bot side of river, and we don't really end up getting her. However, she's down the lane right now. I know she's going to be coming back soon, but I'm just going to push this out, and I'm going to back. I'm going to pick myself up a Corrupting Potion, something that I probably should have just picked up before instead of picking up what is it? What's it called? Fiendish Codex. That's what it's called. Instead of picking up Fiendish Codex, I should have probably picked up a Corrupting Pot and an Amplifying Tome instead. That probably would have worked out better. But I have it now. LeBlanc tries fighting me. This is a bad idea for her. As soon as, like, I don't even have 3 soldiers out, and I was kicking her ass. So, yeah, LeBlanc shouldn't be fighting me. She doesn't have Gunblade. She's behind on gold compared to me, and yeah, she just really shouldn't have tried messing with me. And she's not a good LeBlanc, but that's fine because this is one of the games where I was just starting to kind of figure out what the hell I was even doing on Azir. So we come top. Riven survives somehow. Yas didn't Q her for some goddamn reason, and I'm kind of fine with that. I back, I get Stinger, I've got Boots, and my Dark Seal's got 7 stacks. So I'm like, oh, okay, I'm pretty good. And my ult's almost halfway back up, which, I mean, for it being this early into the game, I feel like that's a pretty short cooldown. So I dodge LeBlanc's chain using my E, using my dash. And since my dash gives me a shield now, I dodge even more damage from her. And then, yeah, I forced her to end up flashing for me. Although I don't really think she needed to do that because I didn't have flash. Yeah, then I start burning down towers. So that's one of the things that the Azir can do even better now is get towers faster. If he can, oh yeah. One thing real fast. Azir can get towers fast, especially if he gets his triple soldiers up. So right here, you kind of saw that I was I put a soldier in the bush. This was in case LeBlanc came after me and tried fighting me. However, I was trying to get the ward in there, and I knew that they made a change where his soldiers can't get wards anymore. They can't attack wards. However, they didn't change how you interact with attacking wards while a soldier is nearby. Pretty much, the game thinks that since you're attacking something that your soldier is in range to attack, you have to use your soldier to attack with it. However, you're not allowed to use your soldiers to attack with wards. So what ends up happening is you're just not allowed to attack. You just can't attack anything at all. And so that's really frustrating in my opinion. So, LeBlanc's over here. I almost kill her if I didn't get rooted by her, and he just shows up and kills my ass because I am at half health. So I'm pretty pissed at that. Lost all my Dark Seal stacks. And I just gave up 2 kills to the enemy. LeBlanc doesn't have any of them. LeBlanc just has assists, so I'm kind of fine with that. It's Lee that has the kills on me, but I don't think that's that big of a deal. So Jarvan shows up, gets a really good ult off, gets me a nice double kill, which is really helpful. And one thing that I have to say is this Jarvan is great. This is a normal game that I'm playing. And the fact that the Jarvan gave me blue buff was amazing. A lot of times in normal games, the junglers are just like, fuck everyone, I'm taking all the buffs for myself. And I was really happy because you definitely need blue buff to be doing whatever you want with Azir. Like, if you don't get blue buff, you have to manage the shit out of your mana and out of the wave. And a lot of mid laners can abuse you. A lot of mid laners have very heavy burst or have very good range or both, and can heavily abuse the fact that you can't use your mana to farm and that you're having to rely on auto attacks. So if fight breaks out here, I kind of just start smashing the keyboard. I almost get LeBlanc, but he just kind of shows up and kills me. After I had just flashed away too. Zaya does end up picking off Lee, but Still, LeBlanc got away with almost nothing. Thresh got away with almost nothing. And it was just kind of embarrassing. So I keep dying when I don't really need to be. However, I have Merc Treads this game because I feel like defensive boots on Azir is a bit better than getting something like Sork boots or Berserker Greaves. I feel like the defensive boots are better just because you're like kind of in the middle of fights sometimes. And it's kind of nice to be able to live bursts. Also, LeBlanc can be a really scary champion, and Varus can root me his ult, and I was just like, I don't wanna deal with that. So it's just like I'm gonna get Merc Treads. And then I'm building a Rylai's. Pretty much once you get Nashers and Rylai's, you're set to just do whatever you want on Azir, and you'll kind of see me do that as the game goes on. I'm kind of fed in this game. I don't really have farm. But even in games where I've been behind, as soon as I get those 2 items, I'm pretty much just like I can do whatever I want. And you don't even really need Rylai's. Rylai's is just good for helping chase down people because they have a hard time escaping from you. But if you need to build like Zhonya's or Banshees, like if this LeBlanc was actually doing good, I would have probably built a Banshees over a Rylai's this game. Just so that way I can survive. And the defensive item, while it doesn't necessarily do a whole lot to help you get kills, in terms of applying kill pressure, it does help you survive. And that is one of the things that I generally find that I have trouble doing on Azir is just surviving team fights. You kind of have to, sit back and just poke with your Q and W, and then once people start running away, then you can use your E to catch back up. But your ult is kind of just doesn't really do anything. I feel like right here, LeBlanc tries to fight me, and you can see she takes me down to like 15% health maybe. While I have her at like 55%. And yeah, I use my E, and I use barrier, and she fails to kill me. But you can see there, as soon as I got 3 soldiers out, I started smashing the hell out of her. As soon as you get 3 soldiers out on Azir, you're just kind of like, I can do whatever I want to. At this point, I do have a Rylai's. Everyone dies before I get here, though, before I can start showing off what I can do. But yeah, I'm going to start barreling down on this tower. And yeah, at this point, I'm kind of just like, I want to get towers as fast as possible. And in team fights, I just need to make sure I get up 3 soldiers. And I also have to be making sure I'm paying attention to my mana, as if I try to chase too much, I will pretty much run out of it very easily. You know, at this point in the stage of the game, I have 900 mana, and my full combo, summoning a soldier using Q and using E, takes about almost 200. If I added my ult, it definitely, you know, that's another 100 that it takes. I fail my ult, but it doesn't matter, and I still kill LeBlanc anyways, and I summon my turret to kind of just provide a little safety barrier for me. I never really figured out, and I still don't know, how to properly use my turret with Azir. Right now, I mean, it's great right now. I'm using it as my own little safety net, but like aside from situations like this, I never understand when to properly use my turret. And that's something I'm just never going to be able to get, I feel like. I would need someone that plays Azir a lot up in high elo to tell me. I kind of killed Nami there. Didn't exactly mean to do that, but I think she was gonna die anyways. But yeah. So we had a bad team fight there, but it doesn't really mean a whole lot. Jarvan gets an amazing ult here. Jarvan has just been great. He's been giving me blue buffs, and he's been setting up these amazing plays with his ult. He's been doing amazing, helping me out. If you're a jungler and you help out an Azir, Azir will carry you. Ends up buying a Knight's Vow later on in the game. But yeah, you saw that LeBlanc tried fighting me and she just couldn't do it. There was just nothing she can do to stop me. I've got a fully stacked Dark Seal, so I'm gonna go back. I want to get a Magi's and I want to get a Death Cap. However, I think I'm low on money for death cap, so I don't buy anything. I'm just gonna go farm. I'm just gonna go pick up a blue buff real fast, and maybe a few other things, and then I'll back and get a death cap. So I go and push. I just summon a third soldier here just to give me my attack speed steroid. I really wish they had it so that you could use your soldiers on towers again. Like, that was a really nice feature, I think, that really is like, yeah, this guy can siege turrets. Yas is coming from the side. I don't want him ever getting a chance to do whatever he wants to us, so I just ult him and make him easy targets for my teams. Zaya's kind of frontlining a bit hard here, which isn't really what we want. Thrush misses his hook, and yeah, we end up killing LeBlanc somewhere in there. I don't even know how she fucking died. But Yas was dead. And that's all I was really worried about. Yas is, you know, he's level 15. I think at the moment, yeah, he's got Infinity Edge and Fan Dancer, so he's a problem. Jarvan Flash ults, which is great. Like I said, amazing job with those ults. And yeah, I'm just like, okay, I get a free triple. Yeah. Then we're gonna burn down this tower, and Yas, for whatever reason, tries to fight us, and he dies. At this point, we could have ended the game, but I decided I was gonna have a little fun and threw the enemy at my team. And yeah, that's a really poor use of a Azir ult when you throw the enemy into your team and your team's like, we can't deal with them on top of us. You know, it's whatever. So I've got Magi's at this point. I've got Rabadons, and I'm building towards Zhonya's just because they're pretty much full AD. LeBlanc doesn't do anything. And Zhonya's helps with surviving. Zhonya's is a decent tool for just going in and ulting in the middle of a fight. But I find that that's kind of risky. I don't like going in and ulting in a fight. I find that it doesn't really work out well. At this point, LeBlanc is... Oh, that's right. LeBlanc is trolling this game. After she figures out, oh, I can't do anything, she just gives up. And so, yeah, for the most part, the rest of this game is just LeBlanc trolling and us just screwing around, not getting anything, losing fights because we're not really trying. We're just kind of fucking around. I end up just getting kills over walls, and it's great. But eventually we're gonna end up getting Baron and ending the game like that. But so yeah, Azir is just super strong. You can see in here that like as soon as I got Rylai, as soon as I got Nashers, I spiked up in power significantly, and the fact that you can get that double attack speed bonus from your W, like, it's not exactly double attack speed, but like you max W second, and I'm pretty sure it gives like 50 or 60% attack speed or something. Like, it's a decent amount because I know it increases with value. It's either by it starts at 20 and it either goes up 10% every rank or 5%. Not 100% sure on which one it is. But yeah, it's insane the fact that you just kind of just get free attack speed added onto your kit. And yeah, I think that if you could play Azir before these changes and you were doing at least half decent, then oh boy, are you going to be steamrolling all over solo queue right now. Azir, he's strong. He has really, his weaknesses are that he's still squishy. And he suffers, I think he suffers heavily against assassins and against just any champ that has a lot of heavy bursts and a lot of mobility. But, you know, for the most part, if you can't stop Azir from getting those items, if you can't set him back far enough, then he's going to steamroll over your team. So, really strong, but probably not strong enough to be permanent banned right now. So thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Remember to like and subscribe if you did. And I'll see you all on the next one. Thanks.